of World Weather Bulletin presented by me, Sebastian Weather Channel. So, this is the World Weather Bulletin for December 12th, 2020. The top stories in weather today are a potential next two, because the first snowstorm is pretty much already done. But a second snowstorm for the south central United States, around Texas, and central United States too, like Oklahoma and Kansas. And that can move into the northeast and mid-Atlantic. And then in around 4 to 6 days, a potential extra. I'm sorry for any background noises and interruptions and notifications. Anyway, back to the video. So, and that snowstorm that could be a big threat to the mid-Atlantic and northeast in 4 to 6 days. And there's some other places that will be affected, but that's not really a big threat for them. It's mainly the mid-Atlantic and northeast. It could drop over 2 feet of snow for places like New York and Philadelphia and more. And then in the tropics, 05P, if I'm getting that correct, is a big threat to Fiji and could be a category 3 to 5 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. And it could really affect Fiji or hit it potentially. I'll be showing you models for that. Today's video will cover the snowstorms and tropics. I will be showing you models and I will be telling you my predictions for all of this stuff. Let's get started. So let's start with tropical tidbits. We're going to start with the hurricanes, and then we are going to go on to the snowstorms. So let's go to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, and we're going to start with their cone. So you see remnants of tropical cyclone 04P. So tropical cyclone 05P was Invest 91P, and it was actually the main threat to Fiji was actually supposed to be TC04P, but for some reason, somehow, Invest 91P just pretty much destroyed and absorbed the energy of 04P and creating 05P, and that is now the biggest threat to Fiji. Let's start with the cone. So let's start with Let's start with 04P. Currently 35 knots, a low-end tropical storm on the Saffir-Simpson scale, and it's expected to be 30 knots and then pretty much die out. These are the remnants of it. This is the last warning issued by the Joint Typhoon Warning Center on 04P. And sorry for the echo if that's annoying. I'm going to close the door and lock it so there's no interruptions, or I make the interruptions less, but currently there hasn't been any bad interruptions yet. Anyway, well, before we go into that, no suspect areas in the Indian Ocean, and 92P, Invest 92P, probably not going to be that strong, but could form and be pretty strong. But by that I mean only like a tropical storm on the Saffir-Simpson scale at max, in my opinion. I don't even think it will form. And again, sorry for these unwanted Discord notifications. I should have turned it off before the video. Please don't dislike because of it. Please ignore it. Anyway, sorry for that. This is the current Joint Typhoon Warning Center pass for 05P. So that cone, their cone is the danger area for 34 knot winds or higher potentially sustained on land or on water, which is tropical storm force winds or higher sustained on Saffir-Simpson scale. So you are dangerous that, according to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, if you are in that cone. And of course, it also means that you could be direct hit or nearly hit. Currently, the storm's around 35 knots, a low-end tropical storm on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Expected to strengthen to 45 knots and around 13 feet. And again, their cone is like a 5-day cone. The very end of the cone is 5 days. In the middle of the cone, it's around 2 to 3 days. And at the beginning of the cone, it is around 1 day to currently. So it's like the National Hurricane Center pass where it's the 5-day cone. So yeah. It's going to strengthen to 45 knots and around 13.00Z, and then 13.12Z, 50 knots, and that's going to keep strengthening to around in 5 days, 4 to 5 days, 16.12Z, 95 knots, which is a Category 2 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale, and then 1712, the 110 knots, which is almost a category 4 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Very high-end category 3. And this is 100 all the way up to 120 hours. It will likely keep strengthening past 120 hours, and I am thinking it will become a category 4 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. And some people are even thinking a category 5 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. I'm not going that high, but I think category 4 on the Saffir-Simpson scale in 5 to 6 and maybe 7 days, and I think it will keep strengthening after the 5-day cone. I'm going to show you some models now for, I'm going to show you some models now for this. So let's start with tropical tidbits. It is loading, and I hate that it is taking a little bit to load, but it will load eventually. So yeah. Anyway, while that is loading, okay, you know that's not gonna load. Okay, I will see you guys in. Oh, never mind. Don't leave. Sorry. That was unexpected. Sorry about that whole other little part that just happened. Please ignore that because it just loaded. Okay. O5P, convection, looking very good. While the convection is loading, you could have already saw in the current convection that was very good. And as we see, as it is loading, the convection, we have a lot of negative 90 degree cloud tops with some negative, what's even more negative 80 degrees. And actually most of the storm is negative 90, negative 80 degree cloud tops. And not all strong storms have that, or even at the stage, they don't even get to that a lot of times. But based on how this was formed and the ocean it was formed in, it's pretty normal. Okay, so there's the cone. These are the GEFS tracks. As you see, we're expecting a peak in around 120, 144 hours. Now, the GEFS is not that trustable when it comes to it. I would go with the main models like Euro, GFS, and HWRF. So, yeah, I'm not really going to go by that. We have these model track guidance, and this is very underestimated, my opinion. Current location, it is around 173 degrees east and around 13 degrees south. So yeah, below the equator, indeed, it's in the southern hemisphere, to my knowledge. It might be the northern hemisphere, but to my knowledge, it is in the southern hemisphere. And yes, it's the southern hemisphere because it's south, not north. No, it's 20 degrees north, 20 degrees west. Like, it is east of the equator and south of the equator. It is in the southeast quadrant of Earth. Let's start with models. We're going to go to HWR. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to go to HMON, which actually turns out they don't have no only storms. CMC, very bad in hurricanes, in my opinion. It's been good with Isaias and some other storms, but mostly horrible this year. And a lot of times just horrible in general. It very underestimates storms. For example, Iota, it only showed it a tropical storm to category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. And by the way, when I say category stuff, I mean on the Saffir-Simpson scale. I live in the USA, so I use the Saffir-Simpson scale. I'm in Florida. So, yeah, as you know. So, as you see, is this O5P? It better be O5P. This is O5P. Okay, we're good. So they only showing it going down to like 997 millibars so far in 66 hours. Most models showing it even lower than that. So very underestimating in my opinion, based on my predictions. It's showing it hitting, but look at that. Look now, my opinion might change as we get closer if I think the predictions are good. But so far, nope. No, I think they're way too high. So yeah. The millibars, in my opinion, are way too high in my opinion, in my predictions, and based on a lot of models. So, yeah, we're going to just move on right to the GFS O5P. So, currently, GFS showing a 993 millibars. That's the pressure currently, well, in 6 hours. Sorry about that. So, from now to 6 hours. Anyway, so let's continue. As we get closer, the circulation does greatly increase. And heavy rain is definitely on the right side of storm, east side. It rapidly strengthens. GFS showing not that much strengthening. Actually, less. It's showing now. The GFS is showing a Category 4 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Well, if I'm correct, I'm gonna quickly look at the not the 10M1. This one. Surface pressure. Surface winds 9. Okay, that's not right. That there's no way that. There's no way a 951. No, okay, I'm gonna ignore that. That is the worst prediction I've ever seen. Okay, that is horrible. GFS. The airport P. Now, its predictions for the airport for P, I don't know. Yeah, so they're pretty much the same, so we're going to have to really wait for the update to make it a little more accurate. HWRF has, in my opinion, been pretty good at it this year than other years. And yes, it's been bad in a good amount of storms this year, but in my opinion, it's been good, and especially for oceans such as the Indian Ocean and Australian region. So this it seems to be good at. HWRF, it's okay. So the only thing I think HWRF has been bad is showing great tornadic bands, which usually never happen. Anyway, so a good circulation in the center of HWRF. So yeah, good circulation, except and again, the southern hemisphere, so it is not spinning clockwise, it's spinning counterclockwise, or it might be the other way around. Yeah, so HWRF shows it keep moving south. It shows it in around 63 hours, 9:41. In 66 hours, 9:38. Going now, the Choi Typhoon Warning Center shows it way less stronger in this time period. So I think HWRF, what they could improve is take this strength and move it like 120 hours out. So 9:33, and then it really starts to weaken. And yeah, at HWRF strongest point, we are getting a wind speed of on the surface. Oh no, sorry about that. A surface of 115 knots, which is very strong. And Fiji, definitely watch out if this happens. I'm gonna see something really quick. Also I'm gonna go to Euro. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm just gonna GFS. We are gonna be done with tropical tidbits, and I'm going to show you something. What the Euro is showing for this storm. So if I can find it, here it is. What the heck? Okay, I'm gonna see where Fiji is. Yeah, so this is the right storm. What Euro is showing for this, it's stalling like a lot of other models showing. But look at it. Look at Fiji. It gets very close to Fiji. We're looking at winds of 73 knots. I'm gonna get to the miles per hour. It's 84 miles an hour. Now, windy does not comply with winds well. Even though it's called windy, if a model is showing 150 miles an hour, windy will show like 120. It completely downgrades what the models are showing. So I'm gonna go to wind gusts, where look at that, lots of wind gusts for Fiji. It comes very close, almost a landfall in Fiji, but not quite. And then it does move on. Winds will start to recede, and then it weakens a lot. But by in 240 hours, still very strong. Now that is enough for hurricanes and typhoons or cyclones, and that's enough about that. And I forgot to tell you that they're showing something very weird. So GFS is showing this. So we are getting a very strong cyclone from that. So yeah, I will make a video on that maybe in a little bit. I don't know. But let's go here. So yeah, I'm gonna use windy also for the snowstorms. Anyway, let's go to models. We are gonna start with GFS, work our way to Euro high res, and then go to Canadian model. So we're gonna start with GFS. Continental US, we're gonna go to regional, and we're gonna start with the mid-Atlantic and I'm gonna get rid of this single image I forecast. Okay, so we see. Dang it. But yeah, we see the system coming around 66 hours, but around 102 hours, we see this. Yeah, so okay, what hour? 90 hours. 96 hours we see. So in 4 days we see it around North Carolina. Lots of freezing rain going into New York and places. So very strong system indeed, in my opinion. I think we'll have tons of feet of snow. So while this is loading, we are going to wait while it is loading. Okay. We're getting a lot of snow from the GFS model. Place like New York getting 26 inches of snow, which is a lot. And there, even for New York, that's way more than enough to even cancel school. So some kids might be excited as this happens, and it's not the only model showing a lot of snow. And Philadelphia, 26 inches. That's a lot. That is over 2 feet of snow. Wow. So, and for Canadian, I'm just going to show their accumulation. I'm not going to really show what their, so yeah, this is 96 hours, and then boom. They're showing Philadelphia around 18 inches, New York 15 inches, still a lot. And actually, Euro high res, I'm just gonna do the same and show their, I'm gonna actually show both of them. So, surface and precipitation rate. So yeah, we see this storm moving in. Yeah, look at that. Tons of snow. That's a big threat to New York, Philadelphia, and way more. If we look at total accumulated snowfall, while that is low, okay, it's crazy. So Euro high res is surprisingly showing less than GFS, but still 17.1 inches for New York, 17.8 inches for Philadelphia. For parts of very south Pennsylvania, 23 inches. Still lots of snow. And actually, so yeah, we are going to go to. So we're not going to show you snow accumulations on windy, but we will show you precipitation type, because I'm going to show you the categories. Like, look at all the categories we have, so you can get a little more deep depth. Oh, and so first on windy, I'll actually show snow accumulating totals for the south central U.S. snowstorm, and then I'll just show you this for the. The second potential snowstorm in 4 to 6 days, because I will show you the snow accumulating totals for that, because I've already showed you that. But we see, yeah, so we see lots of snow for Colorado, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas, and places like that, and then that will move into the northeast, but not be a big threat for that. And GFS, New snow, next 3 days, up to 4 inches and maybe 10 inches, and for GFS around the same. Precipitation type, but then we will have the next snowstorm moving. Ice pellets, freezing rain, tons of snow, wet snow, mix, moving through northeast mid-Atlantic and some other places, and then GFS. Yeah, it's less quality, but still pretty much the same thing. Besides ice pellets, we're not showing nearly as much, and not as nearly as much as mix. So yeah, I have covered the snowstorms. I have covered the potential Fiji storm. I'm actually going to show you that potential Australian storm that they have that are still showing. They've been showing that for a lot of runs now. And it turns out it's not that far out as I originally saw. So it's definitely a big surprise for me. So, yep. So that's crazy. So yeah, I'm going to actually show it to you. So we're going to start with GFS, where we do have the system soon in around, not yet, but in around 240 hours. Well, not 240 hours. Oh, no, I don't want to spoil it. Okay. 126 hours. So yeah, not yet. But we see the system starting to form in 132 hours, and then getting really strong, and then slamming into Australia. Not as strong for them, but yeah. So yeah, hopefully it won't be that strong if that happens. But then I think it goes back into the ocean. Yeah, and then I think it re-strengthens more. And yeah, just move that. So yeah, that was your worldly weather bulletin. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.